Do you want to know how to make this gorgeous bow using 2 wired ribbons? My name is Jennifer Williams with jdubbydesign, and today I'm going to show you how to create the perfect loop for your bows, how to minimize waste when you cut your ribbon, and how to fluff your bow when you get it made. So let's get started. You're going to need your 2 ribbons that you're going to use. They need to be wired. It's much easier. You need a zip tie, you need scissors, and then you need a piece of wire to attach your bow to whatever you're going to attach it to. I'm using a 4-inch velvet and a 2.5-inch silver. Both are wired. They don't have to be different sizes. You can use the same size for both. It's pretty either way. So the first thing you do is you're going to stack the smaller ribbon on top of the wider ribbon. If they're the same size, it doesn't matter which one you put on top of the other. And then I'm going to drop the rolls on the ground. Now I'm going to make a center loop once I have them stacked, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So there's my center loop, and I'm just going to keep everything with my thumb and the rest of my hand. Now you need your loops to be right side up, so every time you make a loop you need to twist. So you're going to twist. And these thicker ribbons can fight you a little bit, but that's okay. So you twist, you make your first loop. Stick it with your thumb, twist, and finish off that first set. Now you're going to twist again to start your second set. And I'm just going to push this out a little bit to where it's not underneath this first loop. It's on the bottom, kind of underneath instead of stacked on top. It makes a prettier bow. And just make it just a little bit bigger in size. Twist and finish off the second set. It's okay if they don't stay stacked perfectly. So now it's time for the third set. Twist and make your third set of loops. And I'm going to do 4 sets. That's finishing up the third set, so now here's the last set. Twist. Now our last loop. So now you have 4 loops on each side. Now we need to deal with the tails. A bow this pretty needs more than 2 tails. So we're going to make it have 6, but we're not making a single cut until we're done. So this will be your tails, all this long part. I'm going to make a big loop and bring it up. So this will be tails, and then the part that's hanging down is where we're going to make our one and only cut to finish off this bow. And I'm going to make it about right here. So I'm left-handed. I'm going to have to put this bow in my right hand to make the cut. And you can cut them together or you can cut them one at a time. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to cut them one at a time because they're thick. Now you can secure your bow. So you take your zip tie and you put it through that center loop. You could use wire if you want. I don't recommend it because wire slides and will slip and you'll lose all the tension you have in your bow. And it's just easier to do it with a zip tie because it doesn't slip. It's going to stay. pull it as tight as you can, and then trim off that extra piece. So now let's finish up our tails. We have these two end pieces. The only thing I want to do is just dovetail them. And what that means is you just fold it in half, and where the end is open, you cut on the diagonal. So there's one. There's two. And now you have these long loops. So I'm going to separate them out. I'm going to flatten this velvet long loop, fold it in half just like I did the other dovetails. And cut on the diagonal. So that gives you two more tails. Now we'll do the same thing with the silver loop. Fold it in half. Cut on the diagonal. So now you have 6 tails. You have 3 velvet and 3 of the blue and silver. Now it's time to fluff the bow. The only thing you do, so here's your center loop, is you take your loops and you separate them. And so I just pull the silver away from the navy. The next time I'll go the other way just so that the same color isn't stacked on top of one another. And then I do it on the other side. And I leave the center loop stacked just because I think it's prettier, but if you want to pull it, you can. And now you just arrange all of your loops. And that's really all there is to it. And if you like this video and this tutorial, please consider giving me a thumbs up. So now let's look at how you can style these. I'll show you a couple of ways.